when we have a sighting, let's say it's a Yael ship. So when we have a sighting, we usually get very excited, which we try to document it and send telepathic messages. Do you guys pick up on that? Or like what is a reverse sighting like for you? I know that may be a bit of a weird question, but how do you experience that?
At times, we know you are excited about seeing us. Yes. Am I answering along the lines of your question so far?
Yes, I'm just curious if we become aware of a ship because to
Yes.
us it stands out, right? So,
Yes.
do you guys become aware of us noticing you? Or
Yes.
okay,
Yes. Not to say all of you, but yes. There are times where that is done intentionally. There are times where that is done for just one person on Earth. Times it is done for a particular group of individuals. They may or may not know each other, but they have a particular program of consciousness within them, which it is important for them to have that particular sighting at that particular time. Almost like a destined experience, sighting. There is the idea, oh, right then, of course, I have spoken before of the idea of Phoenix lights, but then it can happen in any moments. That particular one, you had spacecraft lights on the underside, as you would perceive it. The lights were getting a lot of attention from those on Earth in that region who saw the lights. And yet, the lights, several of us aboard the craft in some other locations, were focusing a consciousness about who we were, what our intentions were to help facilitate your growth back into the awareness of your actual nature. And love and support was being beamed. This knowledge was being beamed through the lights into the eyes of those who saw the lights and were attracted by the lights. That then can help activate some of those who are seeing them with the understanding that we were sending. That understanding may or may not have awakened instantaneously for them while they were seeing the lights and receiving what we were sending to them. It may come at later time. It may come in bits and pieces over later times. So that is something where we are aware of that you're seeing. Not always are we aware of all of you who would be seeing one of our intended, you could say, visualizations, activations, visual activation moments. Yes, there are other civilizations who come and go, who have different interactions, and that I would not be aware of, that may or may not be something I learn about, that may or may not be something those in my civilization hear about, learn about, in a sense. So there's a lot of activity coming and going. So I am not aware of it all. But there are times, yes, we are aware of those on Earth who are aware. And it is then the idea of reverse sightings. Hmm. It isn't often that we see one of your spacecraft flying by and we're like, what is that? But there are times where you could say, there are some times where some of your future, which you would perceive as your future civilization, has been able to jump, you could say, timelines in a sense, and to show up in that way in which we would to see it and would wonder, what is this? And at times we then will have those who are, in a sense, in a state of inquiry. What is it? Where is it? And that time to find out. And it's exciting. Who is it? What is it? Where are they from? Sometimes it is from future Earth human civilizations, jumping timelines in a sense. And that is very not just exciting, but it touches us deeply because it really lets us know that your civilization is going to move forward in a sense successfully through the challenges you currently have chosen to create for yourselves. that you are able to develop such understandings to be able to become, in a sense, a UFO for our experience, to be able to excel in those ways is just another sign for us that you do get through successfully these current times you experience yourself to be in.
Yes, that's super fascinating. And I asked that question because lately, what happens for me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but it's like, I look up and I just happen to look at the right time and I will see like what looks like a UFO disintegrate into two pieces or like a triangle for like a split second fly into a cloud and then doesn't come out of the cloud. And it just feels like I was meant to see that.
Yes.
And so I wonder, like, is that like a setup? Is that a co-creation from both sides?
Co-creation. Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Very exciting.